The question here is a bag contains 5 white, 7 red, and 8 black balls. If 4 balls are drawn one by one without replacement, find the probability of getting all white balls. Now you have to keep an eye on this word, okay? With replacement or without replacement. Now if it is given without replacement, then this is what you will do. However, if it is given with replacement, then you will apply the third type. This third type that I have discussed, that you will be applying, okay? So you have to keep an eye on this word, with or without replacement. So the question here is, this bag contains 5 white, 7 red, and 8 black balls. Okay, if 4 balls are drawn at random, one by one without replacement. So 4 balls are drawn, first one ball, then another ball, and then a third ball, and then a fourth ball. These are drawn, and after each drawing, the balls are not kept back. Like in the first drawing, the ball is taken out, but it is not kept back. Okay, then the second drawing is made, and again in the second drawing, the ball is not kept back. Okay, in this case, what should be the probability of getting all white balls? Okay, so let us define these events. Let us define the following events. We define the event A as, because see the question here, getting all white balls. So we say white ball in the first drawing, B, we say white ball in the second drawing, C, we say white ball in the third drawing, and D, we say white ball in the fourth drawing. Okay, so 4 events we have defined. So what should be this event? A intersection B, intersection C, intersection D, getting all white balls. That is white ball in the first drawing, and in the second drawing, and in the third drawing, and in the fourth drawing. Therefore, what should be the probability of drawing all white balls? Must be equal to probability of this event A intersection B, intersection C, intersection D, which is equal to, now all these are independent events. Let's say PA into PB into PC into PD. Now what should be the probabilities? A is drawing of a white ball in the first drawing. How many white balls? 5. And total number of balls here is how many? 20. So 5 by 20 is the probability of drawing out a white ball in the first drawing. What about the second drawing? In the second drawing, we are drawing out one white ball. So how many balls are left there? Or how many white balls left? 4 white balls left. And how many total number of balls? 19, right? Because one ball we have already taken out. In the third drawing, again, 2 white balls we have already taken out. So how many white balls left? Only 3 white balls left. And how many total number of balls? This time the number of balls is reduced to 18. And similarly, in the fourth drawing, you have 2 white balls left, and you have 17 as the total number of balls. Okay, so this is what your required probability is. So 1 by 969 is the required probability. Okay, so I hope there are no questions on this. Moving on to the next sum. Now what we'll do here is, we'll first do number 21 and then we'll move on to 20. Okay. And the question here is 4 cards are drawn one after another from a well shuffled pack of 52 cards. Okay. If the cards are not replaced means the cards are not put back. That is without replacement. Right? That is the actual word here, without replacement. Then find the probability that all of them are aces. Okay. So first of all, we define the events. How many cards are being taken out? 4 cards are drawn successively, right? So we define just as earlier. Let us define the following events. What is being taken out here? Aces. So we define event A as drawing out of an ace in the first drawing. Okay. Event B as drawing out of an ace in the second drawing. C as drawing out of an ace in the third drawing. And finally, D as drawing out of an ace in the fourth drawing. Therefore, what is P, A intersection B intersection C intersection D? It is drawing out all aces, right? So therefore, probability of drawing out all aces equal to P A intersection B intersection C intersection D. Now, all of these are independent. Therefore, PA into PB into PC into PD. Probability of drawing out of an ace in the first drawing. How many aces? 4 aces. Total number of cards, 52. In the second drawing, you are already drawing out 1 ace. So therefore, how many aces left? 3. How many cards left? 51. Similarly, in the third drawing, 2 aces left, 50 cards left. And the fourth drawing, only 1 ace left out of 49 cards. Right? So you can calculate this to be 1 divided by 270725. Okay. Now, having finished 21, we now move on to number 20. Question here is 2 balls are drawn from an urn containing 2 white, 3 red, and 4 black balls, one by one without replacement. That means 2 balls are drawn, 2 drawings are there, first drawing and second drawing only. Okay. The question here is what is the probability that at least 1 ball is red? Right? Probability that at least 1 ball is red. At least 1 ball is red. How is it possible? If there are 2 drawings and at least 1 ball is red, then how is it possible? That in the first drawing you may get a red ball and in the second drawing you may get a non-red ball, or you can get in the first drawing you can get a non-red ball and the second drawing you can get a red ball, or you can get red balls in both the drawings, right? So let us define these events. Let us define the following events. Let us say R1 I define as red ball drawn in the first drawing. Red ball drawn in the first drawing. Second event we define as, say, R2, red ball drawn in the second drawing. Let us define the event A as non-red ball drawn in the, say, second drawing, and the event B as non-red ball drawn in the first drawing. Okay, so 4 events I have defined. Now, suppose if I define the event E as at least one red ball drawn, that is whatever is your question, at least one red ball drawn, then in how many ways can E occur? E can occur in the following mutually exclusive ways. What are the ways? First way is red ball drawn in the first drawing, red ball drawn in the first drawing, and a non-red ball in the second drawing. So in this case, what is the event that is occurring? Red ball in the first drawing means R1 we have defined as red ball in the first drawing, and non-red ball in the second drawing is, if you see, it is the event, it is the event A, not B. A non-red ball in the second drawing. That means R1 intersection A, right? Or that is R1 intersection A occurs. Next, what is the next possibility? Non-red ball drawn in the first drawing, and a red ball drawn in the second drawing. This time, what is the event that is occurring? Non-red ball in the first drawing. Which one is the event? Non-red ball in the first drawing, B. And red ball in the second drawing, that means R2. So B intersection R2, right? This occurs. Or what else can occur? Red ball in the first drawing, and a red ball in the second drawing, right? In this case, what is the event that occurs? R1 intersection R2, right? Occurs. So therefore, the event E is made up of 3 events. What are those events? R1 intersection A, or B intersection R2, or R1 intersection R2.
R1 and R2.
Now these are mutually exclusive, so you can add up the probabilities. Now in P R1 intersection A, R1 and A are independent, so you can write this as P R1 into PA. Plus this you can write as PB into PR2. And last one you can write as PR1 into PR2. Now we shall put the probabilities. What are the probabilities? First of all, R1 is what? See, PR1. R1 is red ball in the first drawing. How many red balls are there? Let us draw the urn at least, so that we know how many balls are there. Let's say this is the urn. And you have 2 white, 3 red, and 4 black. Okay. In the first drawing, we are taking out, see, red ball in the first drawing and non-red ball in the second drawing. So PR1. Red ball in the first drawing means there are 3 red balls. Total number of balls is how many? 9. So 3 by 9 should be, right? We are taking out 1 red ball. And what should be, in the second drawing, we are taking out a non-red ball. So how many non-red balls? 4 plus 2, 6 non-red balls, right? And how many total number of balls? See that we have already taken out 1 red ball. So number of balls has reduced, right? So how many balls now? It is 8. So 6 by 8. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
PB. Probability of the event B. That is, what is the event B? Taking out a non-red ball in the first drawing. Okay, so non-red ball we are taking out in the, how many non-red balls? 6, right? And how many total number of balls? 9. So 6 by 9. Next, after having taken out 1 non-red ball, now we are taking out a red ball. How many red balls? 3. Now that we have taken out 1 red ball, how many balls left? 8, right? So 3 by 8. Plus, in the last one, we are taking out a red ball in the first drawing. How many red balls? 3. Total number of balls? 9. So 3 by 9. And finally, you have another, in the second drawing, again, you are taking out a red ball. If in the second drawing, you are taking out a red ball, you have already taken out 1 red ball, right? There were 3 red balls. So how many red balls left? 2. How many total number of balls left? 8. So 2 divided by 8. That's it. We calculate this to be 7 by 12. Okay. Now this is one way of solving the problem. I will show you another way, which is a simpler way of solving this problem. Same problem, we'll solve it in a little simpler way. You already know that if you see the question here, the question states that find the probability of drawing at least 1 red ball. So you know that probability of drawing at least 1 red ball is equal to 1 minus probability of drawing no red balls, right? No red balls or non-red balls in both the drawings. Isn't it? Both these events are complementary. So we shall find out this probability of drawing non-red balls in both the drawings. Okay, so how to find out this? So we've defined the events. Let us define the events. A we define as the event drawing out of a non-red ball in the first drawing. Non-red ball in the first drawing. Next, we define the event B as drawing out of a non-red ball in the second drawing. Right? Because we want to find out the probability of drawing non-red ball in both the drawings, right? So therefore, what should be A intersection B? Drawing out of non-red balls in both the drawings. In both the drawings. Right? So therefore, what is the probability of drawing out probability of drawing out non-red balls in both the drawings is equal to probability A intersection B. Both these events are independent, so PA into PB. Now look at the figure once again. In the first drawing, A is the event that we are drawing out a non-red ball. So how many non-red balls are there? 4 plus 2, 6 non-red balls. Total number of balls is 9. So PA must be 6 by 9. Right? In the second drawing, we have already taken out one non-red ball. Right? So how many non-red balls left? Only 5 out of 6. Only 5 non-red balls left. And how many total number of balls left? 8. So this is 5 by 8. Right? Hence, probability of drawing at least one red ball is equal to 1 minus the probability of drawing 2 non-red balls, 6 by 9 into 5 by 8. And this you can again calculate this to be 7 by 12. Is this absolutely clear? This is an easier way. Okay. Right? No problem. Let us do the next one, the last one for today. Okay. This is number 22. Question is, 3 cards are drawn at random, one after another, from a full pack of 5 playing cards. 3 cards are drawn, one after another. And first card, second card, third card. What is the probability that first 2 are spades and the third is a heart? You see the event that is given as a question. First 2 are spades and the third is a heart. So what should be your events? How should you define the events? First event must be, let us say A. What is the first event? The first card drawn is a spade. Second event B. The second card drawn is a spade. And the third event should be, the third card drawn is a heart, right? Now A intersection B intersection C should be the answer to your first question. So let us define, this is for the first one. Let us define the following events. Let us call, in the first drawing, let us call it E1. A spade drawn in the first drawing. E2 is a spade drawn in the second drawing. And the third is, let's say E3, call it a heart drawn in the third drawing. If E is the event that the first 2 are spades, and the third is a heart, then what is E made up of? E is made up of these 3. E1, intersection E2, intersection E3, right? So therefore, PE, probability of the event E, is PE1. Let's write the statement. Then we'll write. That means probability of getting first two as spades and the third as a heart is equal to PE, which is equal to PE1 intersection E2 intersection E3. All these events are independent, so you can write this as PE1 into PE2 into PE3, right? The probability of getting a spade in the first drawing, that was E1, right? Probability getting a spade in the first drawing. How many spades are there? How many spades? There are 13 spades. So probability of getting a spade in the first drawing is 13 by 52. What is the probability of getting a spade in the second drawing? You have already drawn out one spade. So how many spades left? 12. How many cards left? 51. Now in the third drawing, you have you are drawing out a heart, E3, right? You're drawing out a heart in third drawing. So how many hearts are there? There are 13 hearts, right? And since you have already taken out two spades here, how many cards left? Only 50 cards left. So that is your answer. This should give you 13 by 850. Right? And that should be it for the first part. Second part, two are spades and one is a heart. Now the second one is an easier one. Why is it an easier one? Because we are not given the sequence, right? If you see in the first one, we have been given the sequence. The first has to be a spade, the second has to be a spade, and the third has to be a heart. But in the second one, we are not given the sequence. That is, any two can be spades and any one can be a heart. That is, you can get first and in the first and third drawing, you can get a spade, and in the second drawing, you can get a heart, right? Or in the second and third drawing, you can get a spade, and the first drawing, you can get a heart, right? So that is what. Now see, you are out of a pack of 52 cards, we are drawing out how many cards? 3 cards, right? So how many events, number of events that are mutually exclusive, exhaustive, and equally likely? Let's say number of ways of drawing. Number of ways of drawing 3 cards from a pack of 52 cards is how many? 52C3, right? This is the way you can draw 3 cards out of a pack of 52. Therefore, number of events that are mutually exclusive, exhaustive, and equally likely is equal to 52C3, right? So we have got the denominator of the probability. This you can do by, the second part you can do by classical definition, direct application of the formula for probability. Number of events that are mutually exclusive, exhaustive, and equally likely are 52C3, right? Now, number of ways. Now, what is your question? 2 spades, 1 heart. So number of ways of drawing 2 spades and 1 heart. How many ways? How many spades are there? 13 spades, out of which you're drawing 2 spades. So 13C2. So this is over. 2 spades number of ways of drawing is 13C2. Now 1 heart. In how many ways? How many hearts? Because of this and here, you have got this multiplication sign. How many hearts here? 13 hearts. You're drawing out 1 heart. So that means number of ways of drawing 2 spades and 1 heart is 13C2 into 13C1, right? Hence, probability of drawing 2 spades and 1 heart is equal to 13C2 into 13C1 divided by 52C3. Okay, which should come to 39 by 850. Okay, so this was an easier one. We did this from classical definition. Okay, so I'll stop here. I will not proceed.